begin with our live webinar today. We are going to talk about what are the 10 steps to hire top-notch producers. What we will cover today is, this webinar will cover today why we fail hiring top-notch producers, first of all, and how we can secure success. What is sourcing and how to do it systematically, how to use automation to save time and money, use assessment, proper use of a resume, phone screening, the interview, compensation and documentation, and how to do the final interview. So, who's winning the talent search? It's clear that today, in tough economic times, most companies cut back on talent recruitment. But the best companies keep their talent pipeline full no matter what. And the war for talent show no signs of letting up, even in sectors experiencing modest growth. And according to a global study done by Harvard Business Review, only 15% of companies in North America and Asia believe that they have enough qualified talent in their pipeline. So, and the picture is a little bit better in Europe. But so we have 30% of European companies that feel confident in emerging markets. The supply of these talents is limited, and the shortage is expected to continue for another 2 decades. This is something that you should look into it. What about you? How you are going to do it? Is your pipeline full? Do you have a process of recruitment in place to be able to attract the top-notch producers? Before taking a 3-question poll, I would like to pinpoint that you should look into your markets to be able to determine if you are in a market that have shortage in talent, and if you have a system in place to find them. What talent are we looking for, and what type of environment they will work in? So, can we go for a poll now so they can answer our 3 questions?
Yes, ma'am. Would you like me to run the first poll? First question?
Please, yeah. Can you do 3 of them so they can answer them and you understand where they are?
Okay. All right, folks. This is interesting. For the first time, we are including an interactive opinion poll within the webinar. So I'm launching the first question. It should appear on your screen with an option, 3 options. So you can choose any of the options and submit. Yes.
I cannot see the question.
You cannot see the question?
I'm not sure if they can. I can.
Yeah, I think, in fact, it's appearing. I can read it, ma'am, for you.
Do you want me to change presenter? Probably should give you the hand.
Yeah, let me see. Let me see if you can quickly see. We'll try that. Oh.
Yeah, that's it. Fantastic.
Okay, so.
The first question is, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, and the polls are reading that. Let me read the answers now. So we have 33% people have opted.
Let me.
Yeah.
So the first question would be, do you have a systematic recruitment process? Please select one, yes, no, somehow.
Yeah.
Just press on one of them, please.
Yeah, so in fact, I'm seeing the attendees are viewing a poll in progress. So the results are being shown. I don't know if everybody's reading. I can read it over for you, ma'am, if you want. We have 33% people opted for yes,
okay.
0% for no, and 67% for somehow.
Somehow. Okay, fine. The second question.
Okay, let me close this one, and then we opt for the second question. I'm going to launch it. So now, are you seeing the second question now?
Yeah. What is the number of recruits that you are planning to hire for the next 12 months? 1, 2, 3, more than 5, more than 10.
Okay. It seems like we have a similar result right now. 33% are opting for 1, and 67% are opting for more than 10. And we've been running this poll for about 39 seconds precisely now. So yes, the options are 33% 1, and then 67% are saying more than 10. So once you tell me close the poll, I can close and move to the next question.
Please, can we move to the next question, the last one?
Sure. Let me close this one, and then I'll move to the last one. It should appear any moment on your screen. Yes. Do you see the last question?
The last one would be, do you have specific criteria on which you select your top-notch producers? Yes, no, and somehow.
We have 100% yes so far. 27% of the crowd has voted so far. 100% yes.
Okay.
27% have participated total. So folks, if you're seeing this question on your screen, you just please opt for either yes, no, or somehow. If you click on it, you will be able to participate in the polling. So far we have 100% yes on it.
Okay, fantastic then. Thank you. I can continue now with my presentation.
Let me start, ma'am, give you the rights again, so you can select. Yeah. Oh, okay. Now we see.
Okay, fantastic. So
I can close
what we have, this is interesting. 67% if you don't have a system in place. So I think we are going to answer your question today. And the one that have already a system in place just have to compare if they can improve it. The next recruit you need for the next 12 months, 67% need to recruit more than 10. Then we need here definitely to put the everyday system in place, so it doesn't take you a lot of time and money, and you need to be able to recruit the right one, because it will cost you a lot of money if you don't. And then you have specific criteria. Fantastic, all of you have. So let's move on.
And yes, ma'am, I think you need to allow to share your screen again.
Oh, okay.
It should be on your screen, Pablo. Allow to share my screen. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, we are back. Yes, we are seeing now. So please proceed. Sorry.
Okay. So we are going to put, this is a big subject, but I will try to go as fast as I can on these 10 points. This is something called, this is talent acquisition routine. Is a process by which clients can save time and money while attracting and selecting top-notch producer for their companies. For that issue, the 10 steps need to be tackled, and the first step would be why. Why top producers are different? Well, they are different because they have to show they ace, because they should bring the money in, because they are all the time under pressure, because their income rely on their achievements. So you will need to find out why they should be within your premises. You will need to identify their commitment to the job they will do for you, their desire to do whatever they need to make it happen, and if they are enough accountable, responsible to be able to take it to the next level. The second why that you should be asking yourself is why your companies has struggled to hire salespeople or top producers. Do we struggle because of our system? Do we struggle because of our environment, the managers that we have around us, the culture? So the first thing that you need to do is to find out, before proceeding, the whys, the answers to the whys, to be able to stop repeating the same mistakes. The second step would be identifying who will succeed. This is another step that we need to tackle, because the criteria on which we are selecting salespeople or top producers, whatever they are, a junior salesperson or a really vice president of sales, we need to identify what are the criteria that make the success. And these criteria are not general to all industries. They are specific to each industry. So, and how we are going to identify? You need to identify them through asking questions. So the kind of question that you will be asking is, what are the problems that they will solve on the ground? Why there are different, why our job industry is different? What type of skills do we need? How do we position ourselves in the marketplace? Who are our competition? How tough is our competition? Who are our customers? Are these C-levels? Are these families? Are these individuals? Are these institutions? How do we get them? How easy or how hard do we get them? What is our sales process that you have in place? So a lot of questions that you need to be asking yourself in order to put these criteria. And the most easy way to do that is to look into your sales force and try to find out why these 20% of your sales force is really achieving, why these top producers, top-notch people are achieving. What do they have within their way of doing things that make them succeed? What do they have within their personality and their daily operation that makes them succeed? And based on that, you need to put the criteria to be able to really identify who will succeed from the new hire and how they will succeed. Also, other questions should be tackled. Are these salespeople working on major account or national account or channel account? And how they are going to tackle them? Do they need cold calling, prospecting? Do they get inbound marketing, colleagues? What type of lead they are getting? So a lot of questions to be asked in order to be able to identify who will succeed within your company and how you are going to choose these criteria on which you are going to do the scoring. Third, sourcing. We need to understand that talents, top producers, are attracted by really challenging messages, appealing one, attractive one. So we need to write down an ad that attracts top-notch producers. For example, we can say independent financial advisory firm has an opportunity for a top producer in the field of whatever, join our partnership track. We need to pinpoint specific skills. Candidate must possess excellent prospecting and closing skills, or qualifying, or farming, I don't know, depending on your industry. And you need to be aggressive, because top producers are different than admin or back office people. So something like a sentence, you must have prior earning of at least $1,100 US to begin with, so you can apply to this ad. So be aggressive. These guys are already aggressive. Just show them that this is a challenging environment. This is an environment where they can achieve because they like to achieve. The third step would be using automation to save time and money. We know that, let's have a look for example, for tools to create and rely, so we can have a hiring process, like also tracking system softwares that will help us ensure consistency in the process. It help us have a soft copy on the documentation of each candidate. It will prevent us missing good candidates. It will help us prevent loss of data, give everyone in the decision process instant access to the information, give interviewer access to all relevant candidate information, save interviewers and HR professional time, and eliminate admin time. And the most important thing is to keep track of recruiter fees and cost of hiring. So the using automation is definitely to decrease the level of admin and optimize our data of CVs and talents so we can match them with the job on a specific time for a specific market. And the more we have a pool of candidates and the more we have a pool of CVs, the more complicated we have to go and search for them. Because every time we need to screen them and filter them and we don't have any info about them, it's like a hell of a time and resources. The fifth step is how to use pre-employment assessments. Definitely you can use the handmade screening, but it's very complicated, it's very time consuming. Just to give you an example, if you want to hire statistically, from our learning curve, if we want to recruit like 10 people, or let's go for one person, okay, you will have to have at least 20 CV. You need to interview them with at least one other head or manager. So you will count like 20 people times 2 interviewers time 1 hour per interviewer time plus the CEO that finally needs to see the final batch. So you have at least like 80 hours of work. This is a huge. If you count like $50 US per hour of the cost of this manager who's doing this, you are counting like $4,000 US per candidate. Plus, we have the subjectivity criteria when selecting. I like him or I don't like him. While you have as a target to recruit and select people who have the skills and have the ability, you know, and whatever you like him or not, all you have to do is to see if they cope with the culture and they can fit within the environment of work. So we have on the market a lot of assessment tools that are very sales specific and very powerful, that will increase your hiring success. We have some that have like 95% successful rate, and this will save you a lot of time. And pre-hiring assessment tools will give you the ability to screen people all year long and have in the pipeline enough talent, so whenever you need them, they are just a click away. And you don't have to spend time screening and finding. You just put the system in place, put an ad, automate it, send them to an assessment, and see if they are hireable. You can put them in the pipeline. If not, you just put them in the trash. So, and these kind of assessments give you a lot of criteria that are essential for you to identify top-notch. It's different from what we regularly do on a simple interview, because these are very sophisticated sales assessments where you identify a part that is the desire and commitment of these guys, if they are accountable, if they enjoy selling, and other key criteria that are very important, like how hunter they are, how closer they are, how consultative seller they are. And this will give you an idea if these guys should be in a market that is very competitive or less competitive, if these people can work with micromanagement environment, or they can work alone, by remote. So it depends on the market they are working. It depends on what type of people you need, what type of skills and what type of ability and strengths you are searching for. You can place them to optimize your success rate. The sixth step would be a proper use of a resume. Also remember, these are top producers. So top producers must show in their CV what they achieved. Selling is like sport racing. They must prove their achievements. We should be able to detect figures and numbers. We should be able to ask tough questions and get clear answers. So this is good to have a full CV full of information. This is good to have a reference, but the best way to identify your top producers is to be able to dare asking enough tough questions to make it happen for you. Then comes the phone interview. The most important issue in the phone interview is top producers, if they pass their assessment or they pass whatever a pre-hiring assessment and they come directly to the office, they will know that they have the negotiation power because they passed the test. And they know already that are good enough. This is why they are in a meeting. So in order to be able to talk to them and put barriers so you will identify how strong they are to break the ice over a phone. A phone interview is essential for top producers. So the phone interview first is to make a first qualification. So make it challenging to the participants. He might show his skills over the phone. Also, they need to break the ice. You need to see their ability to break the ice and make a conversation with you. Because these guys, depending also on the market and your product, will be hitting on probably C-levels. And these C-levels don't have the time. So we need to identify how they can do it and see their ability to communicate clearly and briefly. So have a fun conversation. If they are abroad and you don't want to go for an international call, it's better even to go for a GoToMeeting interview or a Skype meeting face-to-face, where you can see him, he can see you, and you can really go for an interview and qualify them. So qualify them. How you are going to do that? Top producers are not a yes man. This is the first condition. So identify if they are a yes man, they are not top producers. For sure, I can assure you. Second, find out if they can qualify you. So because they know when they are in front of a client, if a client is qualified, if they are qualifying the client, they are qualifying them also. So qualification should be both ways. Third, please see if they are trying to close a second meeting. If they are closing a second meeting, it means they are closers. So qualifying during the phone interview is essential for you to identify what they will be doing when they will be in front of a lead or a customer. 8, the interview. So first of all, what I would like you to look into is the candidate walk, haircut, smile, confidence. And what I want you to do is, when you go out to, invite him to a room for an interview, I would like you to be tough with him. In general, we go out, we say hi, hello, we smile, we try to take him to a room and offer him a coffee. I think this is a bad idea. Because salespeople need to rise. Top producers will rise. And what I want you to do is go out and say, hey, how are you? John, look, I don't have the time. I have 5 minutes. You need to go before me. This is the room. Go take a coffee or take a water with you and go there. And just walk away. And if the candidate will say, oh, it seems that you don't have the time today, it was a rough day, anything, instead of, yes, okay, I'm going there, it shows that this guy is a top producer. So you can go on. If not, you just, take him for an interview for 5 minutes and then leave him away. So there to put them into a situation that is uncomfortable for them, because it will help you serve to identify criteria that you already put in place. It will give you the ability to identify their ability to control their emotions, how they can be in control in front of a customer, and they should be the master of the moment. Because if they want to close a deal, they need to be in control. Also, what I would suggest is that you schedule several interviews with different managers, HR, sales manager, CEO, whatever you like, but more than one, so you can see if they can take the pressure and find out if he is good and is a good match for the job. So I would like you to ask outrageous job interview questions and something that out of the blue, like seeing stars, pick 2 celebrities to be your parents and see, what are their ideals, where they put their standards. Ask, for example, what kitchen utensil would you be? A fork, knife, a spoon, to show you, to give you an idea if they are sharp, if they like, round, middle situation. How would you direct someone else on how to cook an omelette? You can ask them, and you can see how they can delegate or direct or have orientation within their task. So just ask questions that really are different, and we try to find out how they can interact with this situation. Also, you can ask how would people communicate in a perfect word, and see if they have a good communication system and process. The ninth step would be compensation and documentation. And this is something I need to tackle because if we need to afford top producers, and in order to attract and retain these top producers, you must be able to compensate them fairly. And I can hear a lot of requests, we want the best with the less. Impossible, guys. You cannot have this because the best top producers know they are good. Know they can bring you money and they want a part of the pie. So compensating strong salespeople is simpler than most people think. You will be required to subsidize them, but only for the length of their ramp-up time, after which they can go for a transition to a compensation program where they have their commission. Just to give you an example, if, for example, your sales cycle is 6 months, and it takes 3 months for the salesperson to reach the point where he can have, he can make money. So the total ramp-up time is 10 months. So you have to pay a draw equivalent to the income. The salesperson needs to pay bills for the first 10 months, at which time the salesperson can move to a commission-heavy compensation plan. So these guys, you have to remember they are not on salary, they are on salary and commission. And for the first period of time where you judge there are 3, 6, 10 months, whatever is the length, you need to back up them with a minimum income so they can sustain their process and become real producers. And here we are at the last step, the final interview. So here, this guy passed all the steps, and he knows that he's in a final interview. And remember, you qualified him, and he qualified you. So we are going to stop playing the bad cop, and we are going to put everything on the table and discuss compensation. And we need to be able to address your concerns. So you should be setting your expectations, what you expect from him. And you should be able to measure the candidate's excitement to the job, how excited he is. Test the candidate's openness to coaching and development, because if you are taking a top-notch producer, doesn't mean he cannot grow. But if the guy say, oh, I'm good enough, I don't need coaching and development, you have a problem. Because if today you are giving him like a $1 million target and tomorrow you need to give him $5 million and he is not able to grow, is not able to be coached or developed, you have a problem. So top producers might be top producer today, but you need to identify if they can grow tomorrow. Also, we need to be sure that top producers that you are recruiting are willing to make reporting because they hate it. So be sure also that the candidate can make a decision and when he will be able to take this decision, so you know when you will be able to hire them. That's all. Thank you. I'm open for all questions if you have.
Well, thank you very much, Stefani. Folks, we are now open for Q&A. You could either raise your hand. There's a hand icon on the webinar console. If you click on it, I'll be able to give you a chance to speak to Ms. Stefani, or you could put your question in the chat box. And again, I would be happy to read them over on your behalf. So 2 options, either raise your hand or put your questions in the chat box. I see there is a question already in the chat box. Do you recommend any psychometric tools which are constructive to assess salespeople personality traits and compare them against the job profiles?
I don't like psychometric tools for top producers. It's good to have psychometric tools, but relying on psychometric tools to go to recruit top producers, I definitely don't recommend them. What I will recommend is sales assessment oriented tools where you can identify specific criteria that will give you the ability to know where to place them if they fit your job. Like the one that I showed you, it's very, very specific. The more specific you know, the more you know where they fit.
Okay, let's move to another question in the box. Should we ask the prospects or finalists to give us presentations as well?
Well, if we don't want to go for pre-hiring employment assessment that are very sales specific, yeah, we can. Why not? But you know, when we are looking for top producers, they are very good presenter already. So yes, you can do that. I'm not sure if it will help you a lot, because what we need to detect if they will sell themselves, but what we need to detect if they will be able to produce in your market, in your job. So there is two different things. Selling their image and their personality and their skills is one thing, and being able to perform on the job and in the market is another thing. And this is where we need to tackle and find and identify. This is why pre-hiring employment assessment sales specific are very, very interesting. So I hope I answered your question.
Well, thank you very much. Another one from Brother Mohammed Abbas. For top producers, group interview, what are the maximum number of interviewers you recommend?
Well, I would recommend 3. But really aggressive, tough interviews where I can really simulate aggressive environment, uncomfortable environments. I want to see how they can master their environment and how they can break the ice to make it happen for me.
Okay. Another one from Brother Khalid Al-Tawsi. What is the possibility that the pre-employment automated tool to prevent some good producers to reach to the final interview?
Well, these tools that we use in our business have 95% accuracy. It is a huge accuracy, and we have been assessing in the region more than 10,000 screening worldwide, 500,000. So the accuracy and the experience that we got from these assessments is very high.
Okay.
And the way we look into these assessments and the way we use them to be able to answer your job needs is also very important.
Okay. There are some supplementary comments regarding the tools that you highlighted. Can the attendees receive a copy of the report formats in some shape?
Sorry, I didn't understand the question.
The report formats of the tools that you use for the sales assessments. There are some comments that people would like to see the report formats. Can they get it in like a post-webinar through an email?
Yeah, absolutely. We can send them fake assessments so they can look into it and we can answer questions, no problem.
Okay. Well, okay, there's an interesting one from Brother Khwaja. It is the honor of man in the Middle East region to have a beard. How would you compare this with the recommendation about properly shaved appearance?
Oh, there's okay, this is funny. No, you know, having a beard or not having a beard is not a problem. The issue is to have a clean one well-cut one. So whenever these top producers come into the interview, they look good.
Yeah, so it's the presentability which counts end of the day. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Another question. What questions normally should we ask for cross-reference check with previous employers or any furnished references by the candidate?
Yeah, it's good to get references, but you have to understand that references came or will come from people we worked with, we liked. They liked us. So what we need, the type of reference that I will recommend should be coming from only the CEO. From fellows and colleagues, this is good but not good enough. In big organizations, let's be looking to the top manager within the section. But if you have references from colleagues, I don't think this is valuable.
Okay, only from the top management then.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, another one. In your view, what are the main personality traits of the top salespeople? As you mentioned, one of them being not a yes man. Can you highlight a few others?
Oh yeah, we can have a lot. For example, they don't have control emotion. They are not, they can go for the put-offs. They have a lot of desire and commitment. They are very accountable. We have a lot of criteria. I'm not sure if I helped a lot with this. I know these are very specific criteria, but these are the criteria that we selected and we identified through our learning process. And these are the criteria that really meant when we are hiring these people within our process. So their ability to bring record collection, to going from a client to another, their ability to, having, they don't need to get approval from the client to go for closing the deal, their urgency for selling, their willingness to prospect. A lot of, we have like 21 competency and criteria that we work on, so it's a lot. And I hope I helped with this question.
Okay, thank you very much. Supplementary from Brother Al-Tawsi. Read. Do you think that aggressive interview with unsuitable interview environment might make him unable to sell his skills, add competencies in a well manner?
People are human by the end of the day. If you put them in a situation that is uncomfortable and they can handle it, it means if they will face the same kind of uncomfortable situation in facing the clients, they will handle it too. And by the end of the day, that's what you want. You want people who are strong enough to handle any situation and get the deal closed. I hope I answered.
Okay, thank you. Does the working environment affecting the performance of top producers? Do they need special management?
Absolutely, guys. And I will tell you why. Because top producers are people who want to be on the top, always. They want to achieve the best. And they want to be proud working for you. So if your working environment, and when I talk about working environment, I talk about processes, I talk about career planning, I talk about praise, motivation, training and development, compensation plan. If you don't have also how they are selling, to whom they are selling, how they are selling, the back office work for that support the selling system. The more you are a company that's searching for excellence, the better you will retain your salespeople and your top producers. The more you don't take, you don't have a look to these, the less you will look into your salespeople, the less you will see people who are there trying to find out their way, having trouble, and they will stay with you because they know they are not good enough. That's it.
Okay, thank you. Well, this is an interesting one. Some candidates appear well prepared, presentable, sound very confident. Everything goes well, but end of the day, they turn out to be over smart. How do you assess the person is not manipulating, maneuvering, or lying?
This is a fantastic question. Thank you for asking it. It is very difficult to identify these kind of desire and commitment, because when you are in front of an interview, these guys already knows what they are doing. They are used to present, so they come very well groomed, very well prepared about the company, done already their search. But frankly, these guys, they might don't have the desire to work with you, or maybe they are not very well committed. So all what they want is a good job, and that's it. They want to make money, and that's it. So you can see them performing from time to time, or not performing at all, but you will never see them on the top of your performers list. So how to identify commitment and desire is probably put them under maximum pressure while interviewing, make them really ask them tough questions to make their life very, very hard, to see how much they want this job. I think this is one way. The second way, in order to be more systematic, is to go for a pre-hiring sales assessment. That will give you also these answers. Just to put you just into small brackets, when we assess salespeople or top producers, and we identify that they have a lot of skills, in major of the times, if they have a lot of skills and they don't have desire or commitment, we don't recommend them. Just to give you an answer, a clear answer, that if the guy have the skills of the world and he doesn't want to work for you, he doesn't have the desire and is not committed to do whatever it takes to make it happen for you, he is not going to be a top producer. I hope I answered.
Well, indeed. Well, thank you very much, and that really brings us towards the end of the webinar. With that, I would like to thank you, Ms. Bafani, for your time and sharing this valuable experience and a very quite comprehensive presentation with all of us. And thank you all of those who participated and made it an interactive experience for all of us again. Once again, Ms. Bafani, thank you very much for your time, and any concluding remarks you would like to give?
Not at all. I thank everybody who is attending today with us, and thank you very much for your questions. They were very pertinent and very helpful. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And folks, we will be sharing the link to the recorded version once it is uploaded on our website. But you could always visit our website community. Let me just take a right, Ms. Bafani, for a second, just to demonstrate people where this webinar will be actually uploaded. Folks, those who are familiar with our community site, which is at community.mile.org. Now, we have a section of tab called webinars. That is where we are actually announcing all the webinars. If you can see my screen, it's showing right now, I guess. Do you guys see? I think there is some issue. But yeah, please note down the website URL. It's called community.mile.org. You will be able to see all the archive webinars there, and we'll be able to even download the soft copy of the presentations once it's uploaded. It'll take us a couple of days to upload it all on our portal or on our community of practice areas. So please feel free to join, and you have a chance to interact with a number of subject experts. Currently we have community of practice areas for emotional intelligence, corporate governance, high-performing businesses, media and communications, entrepreneurship and healthcare, and KPIs, performance management. That is an area where you would also like to explore further to learn more about performance evaluations. So once again, Mr. Fani, thank you very much, and thank you all those who attended, and please stay tuned for our upcoming webinars on community.mile.org. Thank you very much. I'm closing this webinar now.